Hi, and welcome to another edition of our Facebook video feed. My name is Christina Laney with the Block 803 Waimanu, and today we're going to be talking about lending. And we have today with us, I want to introduce you to Tana Feely, and she's a Senior Vice President of Honolulu Home Loans, and Honolulu Home Loans is actually one of our lead lenders. I'm just going to jump right into it. So, Tana, what are the first few steps in purchasing a home?
Well, the first and most important is to, when purchasing a home, is to talk with a lender. And prepare to talk to the lender by gathering documentation, income and asset documentations. Just think two of everything, 2 pay stubs, which is a 30 days worth of pay stubs, 2 years tax returns, and 2 years W-2, and 1 month bank statement. Then the lender will need to pull your credit, and this is to take all the guesswork out of the ability to qualify for a home. Also, you'll be able to see what your credit scores are and determine what your debt ratios are, and this gives the buyer the ability to see what kind of financing options that they have. Also, importantly, if there's any blemishes on their credit report, they'll be able to hopefully take care of those in time.
Okay, perfect. Another question that comes up is why use a project lender? So I know a lot of people now are already looking for homes. They might have already got qualified by a lender, so they're wondering, why do we need to go with a project lender as well?
That's a great question. A project lender is going to have the ability to have knowledge for a condo project such as the Waimanu, because it's going to have an affordable component and a reserve unit component. So they're going to know if a person is going to be eligible. So you want to use a project lender so all your time hasn't been wasted. Another reason is the financing options will be specific to that project. So you want to make sure that the buyer can qualify for the loans that are available to the project specifically. And the project lender will have direct communication with the sales office, the developer, and the buyer. So everybody will be aware of what the deadlines are and the guidelines. And lastly, within a year of the project closing, the project lender will have a long lock for the buyer. So if they feel that they want to lock their loan in ahead of time before the condo closes, a project lender will have that for them.
And then there's also a flow down, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's important.
Yes.
Okay. And another question too that I would have for you is, what should the buyers be aware of and the do's and don'ts during the construction process?
That's a great thing to have the time to sit with a buyer and talk about the do's and don'ts. The don'ts are, don't apply for more debt. You are qualified based on the debt that you had at the time of applying for the purchase of a condo. So you don't want to create more debt and jeopardize your pre-qualification. The second thing is you don't want to have any late payments on your debt. Any late payments will affect your credit score, it will lower it, and your loan will end up being more expensive. Or you may not even be able to qualify. The other thing is, don't co-sign for any loans, because of course you would be creating more debt for yourself. And if you're going to change jobs, it's not a good idea during that time frame or when you're waiting for your condo, because if you change jobs, if you're in the same line of work, that will be okay. It'll be considered more stable. But if you go from different job to different type of job, then it won't seem stable and it will jeopardize your loan qualification. Some of the do's is if you do contact your lender, if there's any purchases that you need to make, such as maybe your car died and you need to buy a new car, talk to your lender, just say, you know, I need to buy a new car. Can you tell me how much I'm able to buy, and that will really, help the buyer determine, if they still can be qualified to buy something more and add a new debt. The other thing is be prompt when the salespeople or the lender ask for additional documentation, and that will make everything more smoother.
Well, thank you, Tana, for joining us today and sharing some valuable information with us. Please stay tuned. Mahalo.
Mahalo.